March 24th, 2015. A routine Tuesday morning at Barcelona's El Prat Airport. Germanwings Flight 9525 sits at the gate, preparing for what should be a simple 2-hour journey to Dusseldorf. 150 souls board the Airbus A320, families returning home, business travelers, students. In the cockpit, Captain Patrick Sondenheimer performs his final checks alongside 27-year-old co-pilot Andreas Lubitz. 10:01 a.m. The aircraft pushes back from the gate. Everything appears completely normal. 10:13 a.m. Flight 9525 becomes airborne, climbing smoothly into clear morning skies. The flight proceeds without incident. Passengers settle in for the routine journey ahead. 10:30 a.m. Co-pilot Andreas Lubitz makes his final radio transmission to French air traffic control. His voice is calm, professional, giving no hint of what's about to unfold 30,000 feet above the French Alps. Minutes later, Captain Sondenheimer unbuckles his seatbelt and prepares to leave the cockpit for a bathroom break. A routine decision that pilots make thousands of times every day. But this time would be different. As the cockpit door closes behind him, Captain Sondenheimer has no idea he will never sit in that seat again. Co-pilot Andreas Lubitz is now alone with the controls. 149 lives rest in his hands. What happens next will shock investigators, devastate families, and change aviation security forever. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Andreas Lubitz had dreamed of flying since he was 14 years old. By 27, he had achieved that dream, becoming a co-pilot for Lufthansa's budget airline. But behind the uniform and the smile lay a mind consumed by darkness. What investigators discovered would shake the aviation world to its core. Lubitz had been battling severe depression for years. Medical records revealed multiple episodes of suicidal ideation that he had carefully hidden. He had been grounded by doctors not once, but multiple times. Each time he concealed these groundings from his employer. On the morning of March 24th, his doctor had issued another sick note. Instead of staying home, Lubitz tore up the note and reported for duty. Investigators found fragments of that torn sick note in his apartment. But the most chilling discovery was yet to come. His internet search history revealed extensive research into cockpit security systems. He had studied suicide methods and cockpit door mechanisms for weeks. At 9:34 a.m., Captain Patrick Sondenheimer made a horrifying discovery. He was locked out of his own cockpit. The cockpit voice recorder captures every sound. First, gentle knocking, then increasingly frantic pounding. Inside, Andreas Lubitz sat in deadly silence, his breathing steady, calm, deliberate. At 9:35, Lubitz began the descent. From 38,000 feet, the plane started its controlled dive toward death. The captain's voice grows desperate. "Open the goddamn door!" he screams. But Lubitz never responds. Air traffic control notices the unauthorized descent. Germanwings 9525, confirm your altitude. No response. The plane continues its relentless fall. 25,000 feet. 20,000. 15,000. Passengers begin to sense something is wrong. The cabin voice recorder captures their growing panic. The captain tries an axe. He attempts to break down the door. Nothing works. 10,000 feet. The French Alps rise ahead like jagged teeth. Still, Lubitz says nothing. 5,000 feet. Passengers scream as they realize their fate. The sound haunts investigators to this day. 2,000 feet. The mountain wall fills the windscreen. There is no escape now. At 10:41 a.m. Germanwings, Flight 9525 impacts the mountainside at 400 miles per hour. All 150 souls aboard die instantly. 8 minutes of terror ended in a fraction of a second. High in the French Alps, investigators faced a nightmare. At 13,000 feet, scattered across frozen rock, lay the remains of Germanwings Flight 9525. Among the twisted metal and shattered dreams, one device held the key to everything: the cockpit voice recorder. The only witness to those final 8 minutes of terror we explored. What it revealed shattered every assumption about what happened in that cockpit. The descent wasn't erratic. It wasn't panicked. It was deliberate, controlled, methodical. Andreas Lubitz had programmed the autopilot to descend, then locked the captain out. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered Lubitz's hidden medical records: depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, all concealed from his employers. The prosecutor's conclusion was devastating. This wasn't an accident. It was deliberate mass murder-suicide. 150 families learned the horrifying truth. Their loved ones hadn't died in a tragic accident. They had been murdered by the very person trusted to protect them. The black box had revealed the unthinkable. But this tragedy would spark changes that no one saw coming. Within 72 hours of discovering Andreas Lubitz's horrific actions, the aviation industry faced a terrifying truth. Their security systems had been designed to keep terrorists out of cockpits, not to stop pilots from becoming the weapon themselves. The European Aviation Safety Agency moved with unprecedented speed. The two-person cockpit rule became mandatory across all European airlines. Never again would a single pilot be alone with the controls of a passenger aircraft. Ever. But the industry knew that wasn't enough. The real problem lay much deeper. Psychological screening protocols were completely overhauled. Annual mental health evaluations became standard practice. Airlines implemented anonymous reporting systems, encouraging pilots to seek help without fear of career destruction. The delicate balance between medical privacy and public safety was rewritten. Lives mattered more than confidentiality. Lufthansa faced the financial reckoning. $300 million in settlements to the families who lost everything. But no amount of money could bring back the 150 innocent souls that perished in those French Alps. The reforms were comprehensive. The industry response was swift. Yet one question haunts aviation experts to this day. Can we ever truly prevent another Andreas Lubitz? Another pilot who decides that his pain matters more than innocent lives? The brutal reality is that we've made it harder. Much harder. But impossible? That's a question the aviation industry prays it never has to